After a grueling week of not knowing who will be the starter in Chicago, Matt Nagy has officially confirmed it will be Justin Fields. Recently, there's been some conflicting news and quotes from Matt Nagy suggesting that Andy Dalton will become the starter, but I think at some point we all knew Justin Fields would become the starter. I'm just surprised it happened this early. And the reason I'm surprised is because Matt Nagy from the very start was very adamant about keeping Andy Dalton on the field, and surprisingly, he didn't look as bad as we thought he would. So I think that would have been reason enough for Matt Nagy to keep him on the field, even with Justin Fields' solid performance against the Lions. But I think he made the right choice by keeping Justin Fields. I just think the ceiling with this team is so much higher with Justin Fields than Andy Dalton because Andy Dalton, he's experienced, he makes better decisions, but Justin Fields stretches the field so much more than Andy Dalton would. And another big factor why Justin Fields is probably starting is because Matt Nagy knows how much of a hot seat he's on right now. Like, he knows if Andy Dalton stays on the field and the Bears lose 3, 4 games in a row, he knows he could be fired. But yeah, now Justin Fields is officially the starter. He's not filling in anymore. So we'll have to see how he does against the Raiders next week, how he'll do the rest of the season, and if he is the franchise quarterback we think he is. Okay, now let's get into the Raiders game. So far this season, the 3-1 Las Vegas Raiders have had an elite offense. Derek Carr and the Raiders' passing attack has averaged the second most yards per game, leading them to the fifth overall offense in yards. Their defense, on the other hand, has been, at best, average. They rank 19th in yards allowed per game and 20th in points allowed per game. And they've especially struggled against the run, where they rank 23rd. But an issue they present for our offensive line is that they rank 13th in sacks per game. The Bears on offense have been abysmal, producing the least amount of yards per game in the entire NFL. They especially struggle in passing yards per game, where they rank dead last. And to add on to that, our solid run game is missing David Montgomery. But as expected, the defense has been stout, ranking 12th in yards per game, 10th in points per game, and where they thrive the most is generating turnovers, where they rank number 7. A key thing to look out for this game is how the Bears' inconsistent secondary attacks Derek Carr because they've struggled against QBs such as Matthew Stafford. Another thing the Bears need to worry about is how will their offense run without David Montgomery, who's been their anchor all season. And the final thing that we need to look out for is how can this offensive line hold up to protect Justin Fields. Our hope is that Bill Lazor will dial up the right blocking schemes and Justin Fields will use his mobility to hopefully avoid potential disaster, such as the Cleveland game. I could predict this game being decently low scoring considering how good the Bears defense has been in the past couple of weeks, but I'd have to predict a loss here because David Montgomery not being part of that offense and how terrible the offensive line has been, I could see this being about a 17-10 loss. Of course, I want a better outcome, and I do think Justin Fields has a shot of having a great game because I do really believe in him, but I'm just not convinced the Bears can beat a team as good as the Raiders, especially how good they've been this year. But hey, we're going to hope for the best outcome next Sunday.